Geraldine Williams flips the pages on a history half told.
One morning, it was there, Anna Weish. And all the way across, that's her information.
Williams' great-great-grandmother. She was born a slave.
She didn't live a real hard life out in the fields. She was in the house. She was a cook.
Snippets are listed in official records. Genealogists helped Williams discover it, but there was one piece missing.
They said, we can't find the cemetery. I said, what's the name of the cemetery? They said, Zion.
Zion, the oldest African-American cemetery in Tampa, the one on Florida Avenue with public housing, a towing lot, and a warehouse built on top.
I'm like, you know what? This ain't about nothing. I'm not very pleased.
It's now been 6 years since discussions started to clear the land and add a memorial.
We're going to unveil the markers.
In February, city leaders held a big unveiling for a Zion cemetery marker.
Her grave has been desecrated.
And Geraldine Williams even spoke, but she's not impressed with the progress.
I'm not pleased because I just don't see anything being done. That's why.
So we went to the mayor of Tampa. A year ago, she told us the city was working on a deal to swap land with restaurateur Richard Gansmart. He owns the largest part of the cemetery, warehouse included. Where are we now?
Well, we are at the finish line.
According to the mayor, this is the paperwork that proves it. A recent preliminary agreement for Gansmart to walk away from his investment of the Florida Avenue property in exchange, in part, for the city's old cable building on 7th Avenue, the one right next door to Gansmart's restaurant, Yaleli.
Finishing the entire project is just coming down to an agreement on an alleyway.
And as far as the towing lot goes, the mayor says they're working on that too.
We expect that to be done quickly.
Without those two deals, the memorial was in jeopardy. Leroy Moore is on the board to preserve Zion.
Because it's impossible for us as the Zion Preservation Society to seek funding for the creation of a memorial cemetery when we don't own all of the cemetery.
Over the last few years, Moore led the effort to relocate everyone who used to live on the former cemetery. He's one of the heads of the Tampa Housing Authority.
The cemetery is sacred ground for the African American community,
and he's happy to read the historical marker honoring the 800 people buried there.
The cemetery was sold in 1926.
Gansmart actually donated the money for the marker. In fact, he was there at the unveiling. But Moore believes too much time has passed since those graves were discovered.
This should have been resolved in the first year.
So as he waits, Moore works with anthropologists from USF to help find more living relatives who would be willing to fight for Zion, like Geraldine Williams is fighting for Anna Weish.
But this is the program. I take it very seriously.
She held a service for her great-great-grandmother, and earlier this year, Williams also wrote the mayor a letter.
And I'm like, what do we need to do to get them going?
We are looking at a conclusion to this, and I will get it done if, I have to do it myself.
The legacy of Zion, 6 years later, with a history half told, but possibly one step closer to closure.